On Monday, there were opening statements in the trial of former President Donald J. Trump. And what that means is that prosecutors and defense attorneys laid out their cases for the jury for the first time, explaining to these newly seated jurors what they can expect to hear as this trial goes forward. The prosecutors really emphasized that Trump had entered into a conspiracy with his former fixer, Michael D. Cohen, and the publisher of the National Enquirer, David Pecker. And they said that conspiracy was an attempt to win the election by suppressing damaging stories. They went from the meeting that they described, in which Pecker, Cohen, and Trump agreed to do that, all the way to the hush money payment to Stormy Daniels that's at the heart of this case. The first witness was David Pecker, who was the publisher of the National Enquirer, and prosecutors say that he was part of this conspiracy to help Trump suppress stories during the election that could have hurt his chances, while also promoting negative stories about Trump's rivals. Despite the fact that Trump's lawyers have suggested that the National Enquirer was a publication like any other, Pecker said something today that caught my ear. He said they practiced quote-unquote checkbook journalism, that is, paying for stories. Newspapers like the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times do not pay for stories, and that's one of several things that sets the National Enquirer apart from traditional news media. Prosecutors will say that the National Enquirer was not just any media organization. They were a tabloid that was specifically looking out for Trump's best interests, and I expect them to dig into that more on Tuesday. I think that what we're seeing thus far is that this trial is going to go fast. This day was always meant to only last until 2 p.m., and then it was cut even shorter because a juror had a dentist appointment, which is a very typical kind of normal slice of life type thing, interrupting court. But despite that, we had opening statements from the prosecution, from the defense, and we even got to our first witness. So it was a speedy day, and I think that might mean that we get a speedy trial.